realized that I could find a way to work 2 jobs contently, and an internship, hang out with friends, get laundry done, and a bunch of other stuff. The laundry part was really important. Maybe time to take a hot shower and actually enjoy it, not instead of run in, take a spit shower, dry off, and run out right out the door again. Because every single one of you in this room has a choice. You have a choice to obey, or you have a choice not to. I'm going to make the challenge me, I could be totally wrong. But if you do not take this seriously, and you choose not to obey, not only are you telling God that you don't care about him and his creation that he made perfectly and he loves to pieces, but you run the risk. Statistics are totally stacked against you. Statistics say that divorce might be in your way. Alcohol, drugs, take your pick. Lots of threats because you're tired. Failures of all kinds. If you don't take this seriously. And there's a lot of myths around it. Like, well, that's what Jewish people do. Well, hopefully I've proven to you, no, it's not what Jewish people do. That involves us too. Jesus modeled it and told us to do it. So you're thinking, I really want this time. I think this would be great. I need Sabbath. Give it to me. What do? Do I sit like at home on my hands? I can't do anything. Can't work. Can't do anything. No. Jeff used something that's called do what gives you life. I'm going to talk a little bit about what my Sabbath looks like, because partially it never looks the same. But there are a few things I always do. I make one little exception, and I do laundry on my Sabbath day. I hate laundry. I'm a two-load guy. Whites and everything else. It takes me from pretty much 9 a.m. to about midnight to make that happen. It sits in there all day long. Doesn't bother me. But I know because it takes me all day long, it's the only day I have to get it all day long. But outside of that, I do what gives me life. It may seem bizarre to you, but I love washing my car. I wash my car. There are other times I'm thinking, I'm just going to sit in front of this TV and my computer screen, play video games all day long, mashing buttons and waving my mouse around. And I get like carpal tunnel. And like people older, Nintendo thumb, you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do that. I like to cook. I usually go to the grocery store on Thursday to buy fresh food, and I cook dinner. I also have my small group. That gives me life. Totally okay. Painting does not give me life. Hate it. Cannot stand it. My family loves to paint. Like, my mom gets an itch to paint the house like every 2 months, and she's like, hey, come paint. And she learned, if you do it on Thursday, Stu will not be there. It's my day. I do whatever gives me life, and it's selfish. Hoorah, do it. You are the most important thing to God on high. And the moment you start realizing that and start treating it like it is the most important thing to the God on high, things will change. God promises that if you come close to him, he will draw close to you. And if you take steps in faith and you follow his desires and his wishes for you, he will bless that. If you tell God, no, I'm not going to take a Sabbath, do you think he's going to bless your life? No! But how many people do it? I did it for 28.5 years before I realized, yeah, this is really dumb. And there's some of you who will leave this mountain and will not take this seriously and make these mistakes. You can come cry on my shoulder. But the moment you leave this room, you have no excuse of saying, I didn't know, or I'm too busy, because I will challenge you. If you think you are too busy, come talk to me. I will tell you you're not too busy. Maybe you might want to look at some of the things you have crammed into that schedule. Maybe ban yourself from using iCalendar. For some of you, that might be a revelation. You're like, I would love to do that. By all means, do it. And there's a lot of myths out there. Because that's what the Dark One wants us to believe. He wants us to believe that, A, this is not important. It's something crazy Jewish people do. He wants us to believe that you're too busy. That's how he works. We call him the big deceiver because maybe he likes to tell lies. And the thing is, he tells good ones. Ones you totally believe. He amplifies our culture. Wear yourself out. Thumbs up. I went to Australia and I told them what I did, and they thought I was crazy. They're like, you work like 60 hours a week and an internship, and you only have a 30-minute lunch? Wow. Their brains are like, wow, you're psycho. It's like, not only do you sound funny, you are psycho. And look at our cult, we promote it. And we egg each other on. When I first started taking Sabbath, I pissed off friends. I pissed off family. My mom was like, why did you not call me back? I'm like, I didn't want to talk to you. It's my day to rest. Friends would call me. I'm like, I do not want to talk to you. Sometimes you can. Sometimes I will pick up the phone. But people will get mad. It's not socially acceptable. It's not normal. So if you have to be militant about it, and you have to be deliberate and intentional and willing to face the consequences. But those consequences are far less than not taking it seriously. So you might rub a friend wrong. But eventually they're going to learn. My friends know, you call me on Thursday, or you show up at my house, I'm not going to let you in. Unless I called you and said, hey, come have dinner with me. Come hang out. Let's go chase, Bowser around with Mario and Luigi. Come on, let's do it. Sabbath is important. It's biblical. God modeled it. Jesus told us to do it. It goes totally against our culture, and the dark one will be out there. You need to be militant about it, saying, no, this is my day. Mine alone. And when someone says, let's go do something, tell them, no, garbage. Not going to happen. End of story. It's okay. It is okay to say no. I'm going to give you all permission. Say no paying taxes or no to not paying your speeding tickets. Not saying that. It's okay to say no to not do things that give you life on your day of rest. And there's a few other things you need to remember. It has to be the end of your week, which means it needs to be consistent. The end of my week is Thursday. For some of you, it could be Wednesday. Some of you, you actually have a normal job, and Sunday is your last day of your week, and you can take that. You can go to church. You can do a small group. If you like cutting up pineapple, cut pineapple away. Just don't chip your finger off. It's a necessity of life, and it's a spiritual discipline. Every one of us has to learn. It's just like reading the Bible, and it's just like praying. It's right up there. So not only do we have this whole concept of weekly withdrawing, we have a last piece that we need to talk about. It's very, very similar, and it's called abandoning annually. A lot of you guys know me outside of, Altitude X. A couple of weeks ago, I got the opportunity to take some time away and just unplug. Spent 4 days in Florida and another 5 days on a cruise ship doing whatever I wanted. And one of my favorite hobbies is swimming with fish. I'm a scuba diver. And for me, it is dead silent because you really can't make noise when you got an oxygen breather thingy in your mouth. And you're surrounded by God's creation, and it's 9 zillion colors. It's amazing. Salt water in your ear, and it's good stuff. I love it. The key here is it is also biblical for you to abandon annually. What that means is taking a string of Sabbaths, at least 3 or 4 days in a row, and get away from life. I mean, shut off your cell phone, shut off Facebook, don't take your laptop, get away. And the fun thing is that every single one of you in this room right now has taken that step of abandoning annually. Every single one of you. Thumbs up. You're good for 2010.
Yay.
Yes! Do you feel like you accomplished something?
Yeah.
I feel like I accomplished something. I'm very excited for you guys. It really helped me out. And it's so important because only is it biblical. God said in Leviticus, I have set up these holidays for all of you Hebrews to celebrate, like the Festival of Lights, Hanukkah, Festival of Shelters, and the Jubilee Festival, and a lot of other things. But every single one of them was annotated, and it is a week of rest. To Shabbat, to stop. No. Every year. And it's okay to be selfish. Think of how far you can go with $100. I'm pretty sure in a year, there's no excuse for you to be able to save $100. I have a house and dogs, and they are quite destructive, and I have no job outside of my internship. If I can find a way to save $100, no excuse for anybody else. $100 will go a long way. That will get you to St. George for at least 4 days, and they might even throw a golf package or a spa thingy. Or little hot stones, however that works. There's no excuse. It's biblical. So we have all these pieces. We have our daily divert. We have our weekly withdrawal. We have our measure monthly. And we have our abandon annually. Every